Well, one, thank you for calling it the anti-protest bill. The government is trying to push this narrative of an anti-riot bill. This is anti-protest. The definition of the riot is 9 or more folks gathered together. That could be a birthday party or backyard barbecue, and it gives the officer the discretion to call it a riot. And it's sickening. It's so many different parts of the legislation. The anti-protest piece of it is disheartening, right? It is an attempt to scare people into not acting, to not using the tool of protest to bring awareness to issues that we are having, and also to hold our local and state government accountable for all of the mistreatment that they do to our communities. But on top of that, this bill was loaded with more stuff, right? One, it preempted all local law enforcement budgets to be controlled by our state, right? So that was a direct attack on our call to action to defund the police, right? As taxpayers, we have a right to weigh in on our budget process. It took away that right, right? And then it also carries a mandatory minimum with a 5th-degree felony, with a mandatory minimum to serve 6 months. And if you are a leader of the movement, you get charged under the RICO Act and you carry a mandatory minimum of 15 years. Now, what does that look like for a Valencia Gunder, right? That looks like if I go out to protest and a police officer says that I was inciting a riot, and I am a leader, and I just got my rights back to vote in 2018 under Amendment 4 because I'm a returning citizen, a 2-time felon, right? That means I'll have a 3rd strike with a mandatory minimum of 15 years, and I may never see the outside of a cage ever again for me trying to hold the government accountable for the harm that they do to community, right? That is the reality of it all. And what's even worse is that our government in the extreme right is controlling the narrative here in the state of Florida with our residents. People are like, yeah, we don't agree with burning buildings. I don't know when we got to this place where we value buildings and infrastructures and roads over somebody's life. And it's been a headache here trying to combat our governor. He's out of control. He is a racist. He's a fascist. And we're dealing with it firsthand. But we haven't given up, Tiffany. We haven't given up. We've been canvassing, educating our communities, doing outreach. And of course, we're going to see them in the courts.